it's Sam, aka Ocean Unknown, and welcome back to my channel. This is the third episode of my series about looking at characters through the theatrical lens. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get started with the video. Rainbow High is a toy line that primarily makes fashion dolls created by MGA Entertainment in 2020. This brand was originally meant to be a spin-off of their Poopsie Slime Surprise line, but since then Rainbow High has completely differentiated itself from its origins. Along with the dolls, Rainbow High also has an animated series that is in its third season currently. The story follows the students of Rainbow High, an elite visual arts high school where all of the students represent a color. The brand has also introduced two other schools in their multiverse, being Pacific Coast High, a beach high school in Malibu, and Shadow High, Rainbow High's main rivals across the street. At first, we are introduced to our lead 7 characters: Ruby Anderson, who represents red, Poppy Rowan, who is orange, Sunny Madison, who is yellow, Jade Hunter, who is green, Skylar Bradshaw, who represents blue, and Violet Willow, who is, well, violet, and Bella Parker, who is pink. However, each season of Rainbow High has an overarching story that follows one main character. In Season 2, it's Bella, which I will make a video for at some point, but for Season 1, it's the character of today's episode, Amaya Raine, who represents the rainbow. Amaya Raine is the main character of Season 1 of Rainbow High and is a fashion design focus at Rainbow High. She comes from a small town and auditioned to get into Rainbow High as soon as she could. After auditioning, she gets put on their wait list, waiting anxiously for an open spot. After Bella gets expelled in Season 1, Episode 7 for breaking Rainbow High's rules by taking photos of student work, Miss Wright, the principal, fills up Bella's open spot with Amaya. Amaya joins Bella's old runway project group, which consists of her main 6, but everyone is either still in shock from Bella getting expelled, or they are not very welcoming to Amaya. She's introduced to her runway group, where Sunny quickly befriends her as an attempt to ease the tension between everyone, especially with Jade and Ruby. As everyone says goodbye to Bella, Amaya stays on the sidelines to not make things awkward. Violet secretly films Bella's departure from Rainbow High. If I make a video about Violet, I will mention this more in depth, and Amaya learns that Violet is the YouTuber behind the show The Vi Life, which she is a fan of. Violet starts to interview Amaya, but Bella sees her and asks if she is the one replacing her. Bella leaves, and Amaya moves into Bella's old dorm with Violet, Ruby, and Jade. In the next episode, Amaya's Discovery, Amaya is trying to fit in with her runway group, but still feels excluded because of her exclusion from a friend clothing swap and Jade's passive aggressiveness. Sunny makes sure to include Amaya, and in between classes, Amaya opens up to Sunny about feeling excluded. They go into the school's salon where they find a color change chamber, which is a chamber that allows clothes to change color. She gets everyone to go to the salon, and she expresses how she wants to be a part of the team and to be treated as a friend. She makes them all custom pieces to change color in the chamber, and Jade apologizes for her attitude. In Bring On Rainbow Cheer, the girls are challenged with designing the new cheerleading uniforms. This episode introduces Amaya's crush on a member of the football team, River Kendall, who is judging the cheer design competition. Amaya shares that she's very good at time management and crushed time challenges in fashion design. After everyone starts arguing about their ideas, Amaya has the idea to design individualized looks for each member of the cheer team to show off their uniqueness. Skylar and Amaya create the cheerleading uniforms. All of a sudden, Amaya has blue hair and the girls cheer for the judges. River compliments Amaya's new hair and the girls pass the challenge. Throughout the series, Amaya is the one who comes up with some idea to help another out, like in Going Viral and A Dorm with a View. In Going Viral, Violet posts her video of Bella getting expelled, which divides the friends. Ruby, Jade, and Skylar are upset with Violet, Poppy and Sunny defend Violet's video, and Amaya stays neutral for the most part. Jade and Ruby take action by filming Violet doing a silly dance she does when she puts on a face mask, and they post it online. It goes viral, and Violet deletes her video about Bella. Ruby and Jade remove the dance video, and Amaya tells them that she gets why they did it, but now Violet is hurt too. Amaya gets the idea to do the face mask dance all together so Violet no longer feels ostracized, and everything is back to normal. In A Dorm with a View, Poppy is feeling homesick, which is messing up the group's runway rehearsals, so Amaya gets the idea to create a fake beach in their dorm. Another part of Amaya's personality that gets resolved more in Season 2 is that she works really fast. But this video is about her arc in Season 1, so if I make a follow-up video, which I might make, who knows, I'll discuss how that gets resolved. date. In Amaya's time, Amaya is stressing about the runway show, which was also briefly mentioned in the last episode, all about Aiden. The other girls seem relaxed about the runway show, but Amaya is stressed out. She tries to show Skylar some designs she's been working on, but she trips and falls. River picks up her sketches and helps her up, and the friends learn that Amaya has a crush on River. Amaya says she doesn't have time for romance because of the runway show, but the friends tell her that she needs a break, so they'll all help her ask River out on a date. Amaya tries time and time again to ask him out, but she continuously embarrasses herself. As she is looking for hair dye in the salon, she runs into River. They talk, River admits he's liked her for a while, and he asks her out. In the runway run-through wreck, it's the day of the final runway rehearsal, and Amaya wishes everyone good luck. However, it is a common superstition at Rainbow High that saying good luck actually brings bad luck to everyone. This is a very common thing in my field in theater as well. We say break a leg instead of good luck, and we must never say the name of the Scottish play.
I got something to say. Cheerleading tryouts are happening today.
At Rainbow High, they say, turn your color up instead of good luck. Chaos starts to ensue for the girls as they ask their upperclassmen, Avery, Aiden, and Ainsley, also known as the A's, how to undo the bad luck. They help Amaya touch the tip of the unicorn statue's horn in the hallway. Everyone is preparing for the runway show, and River stops by to see Amaya, but Amaya tells him to wish them good luck. The runway rehearsal is a total train wreck, and the show is in 2 hours. Amaya runs the runway looks to the sewing room, but gets distracted by River. The looks start going off on their own after Cheryl Meyer trips on them accidentally, but Amaya must get them back by the time the show starts. This carries into the next episode, Fashion Fate's Fiasco, where River and Amaya run around to find the garments. River kisses Amaya on the cheek, and Amaya grabs everything she needs for the runway show. Amaya gets there 10 minutes before the show starts, but she didn't finish sewing the garments. Everyone is stressed out, but they all come together to finish the looks. Amaya helps Jade finish her dress, and Jade acknowledges Amaya's hard work and place in the group, saying, "Our group is really lucky to have you, Amaya. I mean that." Amaya's hair is suddenly white again. How do you explain this? As the girls are fully ready for the runway show. The final episode of Season 1, The Final Runway Show, showcases the work the girls have been working on for the whole season. They each individually walk the runway and share what is their rainbow, basically meaning what makes them special. Amaya goes last in a white Iris Van Herpen-esque dress, a slick high ponytail, and rainbow makeup. The dress reveals a long sheer rainbow skirt, as she says, "Sometimes I change my designs and myself so much I lose track of the original. I'll seriously do anything to adjust things until people like them. So I'm always working on keeping myself grounded and remembering what I'm made of, the whole rainbow." Everyone does a final walkout, and then the girls compliment each other after the show ends. Ruby compliments Skylar and Amaya for their designs, and Skylar mentions how River's jaw dropped when he saw Amaya. Miss Wright comes out and tells them that they passed. Miss Morton, their advisor, also tells them to celebrate and brings them to the front of the school to reveal that Bella is returning to Rainbow High, leaving the season on a cliffhanger until Season 2. We have to identify the protagonist, antagonist, given circumstances, climax, and major dramatic question. Starting with the protagonist, it's really easy to identify the protagonist in Rainbow High, and that is Amaya. She has a goal and isn't trying to stop anybody from achieving a separate goal. As far as antagonists, the prevalent characters who get in the way of Amaya's goals are Jade, Ruby, and Miss Wright. However, I'd argue that the primary antagonist for Amaya is Amaya herself. As Uyung's father on Twitter once said, "Never trust anyone, not even yourself." With Rainbow High, sure, Jade and Ruby exclude Amaya for a while, but they don't necessarily stop her from proving herself, and Miss Wright is mostly just being harsh as a principal rather than intentionally getting in Amaya's way. If anyone in this show gets in Amaya's way the most, it's Amaya. She causes conflict for herself, whether it's accidentally breaking a superstition with the school or getting distracted by River. She stops herself from her goal many times, thus making this a man versus self story, and Amaya the antagonist as well as the protagonist of Rainbow High. As far as given circumstances, Rainbow High as a whole doesn't have too many for their characters. For Amaya, her given circumstances are that she is from a small town, she is a fashion designer, she has a crush on River, she works very fast, and she is not a procrastinator. Next is the climax, which I will discuss in both on-screen and on-stage terms. The climax of Amaya's Season 1 journey in the film and TV show lens is the runway show, whereas the climax in the theatrical lens is later when her question is answered. It's major dramatic question time! Amaya's major dramatic question in season 1 of Rainbow High is, will Amaya prove herself? It's a pretty straightforward goal, which fits Amaya's progression in the show well. Since Amaya is introduced later in the series, she already has something to prove, her place in the runway group and her place at Rainbow High. By being taken off the wait list, she has a passion and fire to prove that she has earned her place at the school. This shows in her passion towards fashion design, drive and excellence in teamwork, and how she is prone to school stress. The climax in Amaya's story in the Theatrical Lens is in the final runway show when Miss Morton says to the girls, "You did it, I am so proud of you," which answers Amaya's major dramatic question. After her stellar runway and designs she made for the other members of her runway group, she gets a passing grade and has proven her place in the friend group and at Rainbow High. While this video is only discussing Amaya's story in season 1 of Rainbow High, I would like to discuss a little theory I made up in case I do decide to make a follow-up video to discuss Amaya's story in the other seasons of Rainbow High. My theory is that Amaya might join the A's. In season 3, Ainsley, one of the A's, leaves Rainbow High for Shadow High during the Rainbow Vision music competition, leaving just Avery and Aiden at Rainbow High. My prediction is that since Amaya is the only other Rainbow High character whose name starts with A, she might take Ainsley's place in the A's. How would this add to her character? That's up for debate. I think it would honestly make sense for Amaya to join the A's since it would further cement her deserved place at Rainbow High. However, we'll see if that actually happens. As far as other theater elements in Amaya's character, it was a little tricky to determine if she has any foils since she is a main character of a children's show. Shows geared towards kids like Rainbow High, where most of the characters are in the same place and on the same playing field, tend to not have foil characters so that the messages are more digestible for kids. Despite this, there can be an argument made that Amaya and Bella are foils for each other. Well, foils might not be the best word. This is merely just MGA taking jabs at their main rival, Mattel, as they are always doing. Bella's main color is pink, and her t-shirt in her main design resembles the California Dream Barbie logo. In MGA's mind, Bella represents Barbie, who is Mattel's biggest brand in season 1. Bella being expelled and replaced with Amaya is pretty much a message of Barbie is out, Rainbow High is in. Their personality traits are also slightly contrasting, like Bella cares more about her work in a personal sense, which leads to her breaking the rules, whereas Amaya cares more in a validation and academic sense by being rule-abiding. The last thing I'm going to analyze is Amaya's design and use color psychology to analyze her. In the first 3 episodes in the series, Amaya wears the same outfit as her doll in series 1. She wears a white crop top with a matching mini skirt with a clear jacket with rainbow stitching and strappy black knee-high boots. Her hair is white with a peekaboo rainbow highlight / undercut, and her makeup is all pastel. Starting in the episode, Bring on Rainbow Cheer, her hair is dark blue with rainbow highlights and she wears more dark blue and black with rainbow accents. Her makeup is also different, exchanging her pastel look for a colorful rainbow palette with a bold red lipstick. White in color psychology represents innocence and a fresh start. It is also the absence of color. This plays into Amaya's story very well. She starts out as the new kid that nobody knows, and she hasn't found her footing at Rainbow High yet. Blue represents focus, creativity, open-mindedness, and reliability, which are all traits that Amaya has. Rainbows are synonymous with togetherness, positivity, joy, and connecting with our inner child, which makes Amaya a perfect design for a children's show protagonist for a show whose whole thing is rainbows. This all makes sense for her character, especially when you take her final runway look into consideration. She goes back to her white color scheme, but now the rainbow shines through the white outfit, quite literally. This represents how in the end, she found her place at Rainbow High and also found her rainbow. In conclusion, Amaya Raine in season 1 of Rainbow High has a lot of theatrical elements in her character and story. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and stay tuned if I come out with a follow-up for this video. Comment down below what characters you'd like to see me analyze next, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much!